Hi everyone, it's Squishy. So I'm sharing this update in video form when I'd normally just type it out on Twitter and in the YouTube community tab because there's quite a lot to go over here. Plus I do like being present on my channel in voice form rather than just in the form of Times New Roman or some other text font. There will be timestamps of different topics in the description though, since there is a lot to go over. But other than that, let's get started. First of all, I'd like to thank you all so much for the support during Kirby Month. I feel like for a first event, it went pretty well, and I'd love to do more in the future, like along the lines of events and stuff. So definitely give suggestions for some, whether that be maybe game anniversaries coming up, anniversaries for maybe other things, underappreciated games, maybe even my favourite games, I don't know. Definitely do give me some suggestions though. Also, asking for suggestions and feedback will be a common trend in this video, so I warn you there. On the topic of the event though, the event did get me to take a better look at my current uploading schedule though. And I'm going to go into further detail now on the schedule I've currently got, and my previous thoughts on it and what I want to do in the future with it. It's something I wanted to shuffle around for at least a year, because for the Warioware DIY covers at least, they've been mostly consistent with only a few changes over the last 5 years or so. But then my other content had been kind of thrown around on other days of the week where they weren't, on the days there weren't Warioware covers. And they were also only made when I had extra time, so DIY covers were always my priority. And then everything else was just, hey, do I have a few hours to make a Mario paint? Or hey, do I have a few hours to make a regular cover or a sound font cover? Sure, I'm gonna make that. I do want to spotlight my other content a little more without losing what my channel is about, being, you know, Warioware DIY music. So that's what I was hoping to plan ahead in my head before sharing this. It also affects how I plan my backlog. So, for those who don't know how I make my content, so I only ever make content, like my covers, when I feel like it. I very rarely force myself to sit down and make stuff. But I do actually have a system where I plan my Warioware covers at least 4 to 6 weeks in advance, then have them scheduled to go out at 5 PM UK time on the upload days. And that's been pretty consistent. I've very rarely missed one of those days. Like, for example, I'll work on July's song covers in June, and then I'll work on August's song covers in July. But of course, whenever there's like a new announcement or release that motivates me to make a new song, like E3, a Nintendo Direct, a movie or game release or something, I will move a song that I had scheduled for the backlog to a later date, and then just like slot the more relevant song in a sooner place. Like, if a direct happened, I'm gonna move a song that I had scheduled the next day further so I can have a song related to the direct release on that day. But I only currently do all this with my Warioware covers. Everything else is kinda in the air and is on a whenever there's content basis. Like, I'll not post Mario paints unless I have a small number of Mario paints to release, same with regular covers, and I can do it semi-consistently for at least a few weeks to a few months. That goes on to like my current schedule situation, and one thing I'd like to briefly mention is due to the schedule change and the work put into Kirby Month, I'm gonna need May to get caught up a little bit in preparation for the second half of 2022. So May might be a little spotty and spontaneous. I'm not gonna be able to have 2 Warioware covers every single week while I get that sorted, so I hope you all understand. But enough about May. Here's what my new schedule would be like in order to balance things, which will start to go into effect in June, and I'm gonna explain these for each individual day of the week. So Monday will still be Mario paint covers, that won't change, and I do want to aim to have 2 per month released. If not, I do want at least 1 per month. Like, if I can't do 2, I do want at least 1 Mario paint song every month. Either way though, I want more consistency with them, because what seems to happen with my Mario paint covers is I will make a bunch, whether that be for a collab in the Mario Paint Hangout server or just for fun. I'll have them scheduled every 2 weeks to release, and then I'll have no Mario Paint covers for like a month or two, and then it'll be back to doing that again. So I do want to make that a bit more consistent. Also, speaking of Mario Paint Hangouts, they're a really great community and they're filled with like awesome composers, collabs for those who mess around with Super Mario Paint, and it's just a great little place for like Mario Paint fans, to be honest. I'm even involved in some of the collabs. I'm involved in the Wario Paint one, that was my kind of debut collab on there. I'm involved in the Undertale one. I did participate in their Secret Santa in 2021, and then there's other bits and pieces too that might come up. I'll have their YouTube channel and Discord server linked in the description because they're really cool, and I highly recommend checking them out. But yeah, Mondays will be Mario Paints, twice or once per month. Tuesdays and Thursdays. This is where things are going to change a lot, because ever since about 2017, they were always the Warioware cover releases. But there were a couple of flaws with them releasing on Tuesdays and Thursdays. First of all, I felt that the Tuesday release didn't really give my Mario Paint covers that I did actually release enough time to breathe and flourish. Like, on Monday I would release a really cool Mario Paint that I'm proud of, and I'd let the YouTube algorithm kind of have it for like 24 hours, only to post a WarioWare cover the next day, which is really not fair on my Mario Paint cover, especially since I don't release them as often as my DIY covers. Also, whenever I made a DIY cover for a huge game release or announcement, I always ended up just moving the Thursday release to Friday, because Nintendo always releases their games on Fridays. So for that reason, I'm going to be moving my WarioWare covers to now release on Wednesdays, and then only some Fridays. It won't be every Friday, only whenever there's either a big release, like I mentioned above, or if I have a huge backlog of covers that I need to release before my copies of the game get full, because there are only like 72 slots or something. This setup just felt like it worked best because releasing 2 covers per week felt like too much physically, because like, I can't realistically make 2 covers a week. I'm surprised I did, to be honest, half the time. I can, but it just wouldn't be healthy, to be honest. But mentally, like in my brain, because I have been making 2 a week for so long, mentally 1 cover per week didn't feel like enough, because I know there was a time where I was releasing 3 per week. So I already feel like 2 felt like less mentally whenever it's physically too much sometimes. The quality wasn't as good back then though, so I will give myself some slack there. So I thought, okay, having some weeks where I have 2 WarioWare covers per week and then some weeks where I only have 1 would be like a nice little middle ground and a bit of a compromise for myself. Because it also gives me more time to work towards, you know, it would give me more time to make Mario Paints and stuff too. Saturdays will be my regular covers, and I'm gonna actually aim to release those again because I miss doing them, and I'm gonna aim to have them monthly for now. This works out since, although Friday and Saturday both have content, they both won't be every week because Fridays will be the sometimes day for WarioWare covers. But Saturday will also be like sometimes for my regular covers, so they won't overlap the same way my Monday and Tuesday covers do. Lastly, my Sundays will continue to be like the raw footage videos, which are now known as Squishy Rewind, thanks to Super Leo. And honestly, I think that's a much cooler name than raw footage video. So I guess they're called Squishy Rewind now. So I'll take that. But yeah, Squishy Rewind is definitely a better name, and they're gonna release on Sundays. Next up, I want to mention something I've been doing a little behind the scenes. So I get song suggestions on various social media sites. Sometimes it's because I ask for them on like the YouTube community tab, TikTok, Twitter, Discord, wherever. While other times people will just kind of like reply to a video with an idea or mention it in conversation while we're talking about DIY. Either way, I love hearing everyone's song suggestions and I try my best to attempt all of them. Even when I can't do a particular song quite yet, it usually gives me other ideas for other songs while I'm doing it or failing to do it. But the only problem with getting all these wonderful suggestions is that I will get them on various platforms. Like I mentioned, I get them on Twitch, TikTok, Discord, Twitter, YouTube community tab, YouTube comments, and this can make it hard to find which song in particular people suggested and which person was the one that actually asked for it. So I've created a Google form where people can give song suggestions about what particular songs they'd like, or even if you want to see more games or category specific ones. It seems a little corporate to have a Google form to fill out, but this will keep things all in one place and make them easier to find. Plus it's completely optional, you don't have to use the form, it just means I'll be able to find it easier. I'll have the form in the description of future videos that aren't already scheduled and in my link tree, which, by the way, you should check out my link tree. I have all my social medias there. But while I'm on the topic of feedback, I do want to ask, is there anything about my content I could improve on? Is there anything that's working for you or working for me, and is there anything that isn't working? Definitely let me know, and don't be afraid to be brutally honest, because I want to make my channel better and a more enjoyable experience for others and myself as well. Because I do want to see it thrive. I'm just in it for the hell of it, but I do want to see it thrive. Okay, but on another and more fun note, I am happy to announce that I will be at QCon Lite in June. I know a large chunk of my community isn't in Northern Ireland, or even in the UK, but I just thought it would be fun to mention it anyway. QCon has a special place in my heart, and obviously over the last 2 years I couldn't go. I don't even need to mention why, everyone knows why we couldn't go anywhere for 2 years. But I'm really excited that it's back. I'm just excited. I'm also not 100% sure about what exact times I'll be there, or if I can get my cosplay sorted, because I do want to hopefully cosplay as Willow from the Owl House. But I'll be mentioning that stuff on Twitter mostly, because Twitter is where I'm at my most human out of all my social medias. So just thought I'd mention it for the rare few who are actually in Ireland, because I do follow some of the con goers on Twitter and stuff, so I thought, hey, I'll mention it. And for those, wondering why my content might be a bit stagnant during the week of the convention. Lastly, I just want to quickly plug my other social media, since I don't tend to do that often on here, and I'd love to bridge the gap between them, since there's a lot of people on one social media and not the others. A lot of people who watch me on YouTube probably don't watch my Twitch often, or people on my Twitter don't see my TikToks. So I will have my usernames on screen and in the description. I'll also have the Discord invite links for both the Warioware DIY Discord and my own content's Discord servers down in the description too. The sock drawer in particular is great for those who want to be notified whenever I do almost anything. I have separate pings on the sock drawer, which is my personal Discord, for whenever I have a video go live, or whenever I go live on Twitch, or I don't have a ping for Twitter because honestly that would be annoying, but I do have a bot that shows all my tweets, for example. Plus, everyone there is very wholesome, there's very few problems in the sock drawer, so the more members in there the merrier, and it would be really nice to have people there. And with that, I think I covered everything? I don't know. Honestly, I wrote a script for this, and I don't normally write scripts, but I wrote a script for this because I was scared I would miss something. But if I do miss something, I'll probably mention it in the community tab and Twitter and stuff anyway. But yeah, I've been talking forever, so I better not have missed anything. But either way, thank you so much again for all the support over nearly 7 years. Why have I been going for that long? I feel like one of those, veterans now. Because, oh my god, that's so weird. But either way, I will see you all next time. Bye!